Oh, hey everyone. Welcome to Pub Sports Radio. Today's Monday, the 27th. We're going to talk about 11 MLB games. Tune in, baby.
Yeah, I'm so fresh like the morning. Mouth wide open like they yawning. Every time they see me, they in G-Shock. Homie, this is too far. Homie, I feel too alive. You can see me like Illuminati. You can see me like Illuminati. But I'm trying to...
All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Pub Sports Radio. Today's Monday, the 27th. We got 11 games. The second half of MLB is in full swing. We get Scherzer Day. Max Scherzer, who's been absolutely horrific this year, except for his last start in AAA. No hitter, 5 innings, 7 strikeouts. So we'll talk about that. He's starting today at Washington, a tough assignment. Going to be a fun show. We'll get all our notes together, and we'll look at the opening lines and all that, and we'll figure out what might be a good way to bet some of these games here. There's also some weather issues but it looks like everything's going to be every game's going to play, although there might be some delays. Chase Burns making his second start since signing a massive contract. It's always a little bit dicey for me to bet guys when they're right after they've signed a huge contract. We'll see. Still the same year for him, so he should be okay. But we'll see. We'll talk about it. Everyone in the comment section, Justin McKelvey. Shout out Justin McKelvey. All right. Interesting stuff. It's Chase Burns Day, Max Scherzer Day. 11 games on the card. Keter Montero Day. Man, that guy has turned into a bit of a juggernaut, right? Pretty impressive. This guy, Zach Thornton for the Mets, not sure I'm buying him yet at that level. Market isn't really either. It's it's Fried Day for the Yankees as well. He was having some issues. His velocity was up in his rehab start. Of course, his first start back was awesome. Urena, I love him for the Angels. It's his day as well. Interesting shit on today's card. Let me get everything ready here. Make sure I'm not forgetting everything. Oh, yeah, my basic notes. Let me pull that one out. Shout out to everyone. Thanks for joining in. Tell us what you think. Bunch of pitcher props I think I'm liking today. Guys, I think I'm going to have good starts. And even if their starts are less good than my stats say, they're more likely than not to go over their outs prop anyway. So a few of those in the offing. We'll get into it. Jimmy the Bag. What's up, Jimmy the Bag? It's Max Scherzer Day, Jimmy the Bag. It's it's Chase Burns Day. It's Zach Thornton Day. A lot of days here. Jimmy the Bag, baby. Great to see you in the comment section, baby. Jimmy the Bag, baby. Gorky. Wow. Okay, everyone's here. I gotta bring my A game for this one. Big Mastro 6839 is also here. Oh man. All right. A game. Make sure I look okay here. All right, we're going to have a good show. We're going to do this shit. All right. Okay. All right. Let's get into it, baby. Let's start right in. No more bullshitting so we can talk about these games as long as we possibly can. All right, first game, Arizona-Pittsburgh. Merrill Kelly and Mitch Keller. This one I think is going to be a pass for me, although free play, it would definitely be Arizona as a dog. No doubt about that. 2 starting pitchers who are kind of similar stat-wise, and that's not really great for either of them, right? Kelly, bad June, better July. Mitch Keller, kind of similar. His last start was actually pretty good, very good. 5 shutout innings, 6 strikeouts. So both of them come with big question marks, although their very recent performances have been decent. Numbers actually like the under at 9.5, juice to the under on the morning line. Despite the fact that both starting pitchers are questionable and both lineups have some life to them. Arizona, of course, they've been winning. They lost their last 2 at Washington, but it's kind of a tough place to play. And Pittsburgh lost 2 or 3 to the Cubs. They won yesterday, 8-7. So despite the fact that you have 2 nice offenses here and 2 starting pitchers with question marks here, and not even great bullpens involved, running the numbers, liking the under, juice to, at 9.5, juice to the under, and Arizona as a small dog. Not sure if that's where they are right now. And statistically, Kelly under 4.5 strikeouts at like minus 135 had some value as well. We will look at the comment section here. Let's see where the line has moved. All right. So it's moved in Arizona's favor. There's still a tiny dog, it looks like here, but it's moved in Arizona's favor a bit. And I think it opened. Let me see where it opened. Where is this? Where is this? Yeah, so Arizona was a bigger dog on the opening line. Then on the morning they were less of a dog. It's headed down, and that's just because when I ran these numbers, actually I would have a small bullpen edge to Arizona as well. So my numbers made Arizona a slight favorite here. So yeah, I don't know if I can give it right now as an official pick at plus 102 at Pinnacle, but the numbers, I like Arizona as a small favorite. Maybe I will give it. And Kelly under 4.5 strikeouts had some value as well. Let's see where that is right now at Pinnacle. Yeah, a little bit lower, but that's all right. Let's see, where are we? Kelly, yeah. So money clearly moving in Arizona's favor, which is what I liked on the opening line, and the Kelly under strikeouts prop should have some value. Very tempting, very tempting. All right, I'll make that an official play. Merrill Kelly under 4.5 strikeouts minus 139, just a little bit of value there according to my numbers, but high confidence. So Kelly under 4.5 strikeouts minus 139. Make that an official play. Make that an official pick. And then Arizona at plus 102 still has a little bit of value because, again, small bullpen edge to Arizona. It's tough. Let's look at the comment section. Gerald Jones. Wow, everyone's here. Here we go. And Justin McKelvey liking the over 9 in the Arizona. Yeah, I mean, both, starting pitchers question. I'd probably lean first 5 over if I was going to take a shot with the over, although both bullpens are no great chase. Jimmy Bag liking the D-backs first 5. Yeah, I would not disagree with that. It's just that I would give the Diamondbacks a little bit of a bullpen edge as well. So yeah, but certainly shout out Tasha. Hell yeah, everyone in the comment section, baby. All right, we're jammed up today. Look at this, Gerald Jones talking about the Chase Burns game. We will talk about that. All right, I'm just going to take the Kelly under strikeouts prop. Definitely leaning Arizona at any kind of dog line, but leaning a lot less at as the line gets lower and lower. Give me the bag like in first 5. Can't disagree with it. And then let's move on. Next game on the card: Baltimore and Detroit. Baltimore and Detroit. And Keter Montero against Bradish. Montero overall has been great. Last start was awesome against the Cubs. I had Detroit first 3 plus a half run in that one, if you remember. Just a big fan of Montero. He doesn't go deep necessarily, although I do like his over outs prop here as well. But a very impressive guy for Detroit. And then Bradish sometimes get touched, but can be good. Last 2 were excellent. Can he do it a third time in a row? Maybe not. This is another game where there was a lot of weather issues. Depending on where you're looking, there's definitely going to be some rain in the area. Well, how much, if this game gets postponed or how much it gets delayed is not exactly clear. Both teams pretty good, I would say. I would give a pretty big bullpen edge to Baltimore here, though. So if I was going to take Detroit, I would take them first 5. Yeah, and the weather, is an issue here as well. There might be a late start. I've been checking the weather reports. Might be a late start, but yeah. My numbers like Montero over 15.5 outs. It's just that if he pitches and then there's, rain that comes in, in the middle of the second inning or something, and then there's a delay, he definitely won't come back out again. So that's tough. So I'm going to need Montero to need the game not get delayed, which is a big if in the middle of the game. I think there might be a significant delay at the beginning of the game. But that's a big bullpen edge to Baltimore for this one. Liking the Montero outs prop over 15.5 outs, even though he doesn't go deep in general. He can go deep, and I have him statistically that this is likely to be a pretty good game for him. So, Detroit, small favorite, and the total, I think the total's gotten bet up, which is a little bit surprising, I get. Yeah, all right, so it's morning, it was like 8, slightly juiced to the over. Now it's 8.5, almost even on both sides, which is where it opened though. So it's been bouncing around, and let's see where Detroit is right now. Yeah, Detroit's a small favorite, as they were in the morning. So the weather's an issue. I guess I will make the Montero outs prop an official play, even though it's very scary to do that with the kind of weather that we could be seeing in Pinnacle. All right. So there is no outs prop for Montero that I can quote at Pinnacle. Let's go to good old Caesars and see if we can get like 15.5 at even money. or minus 105 or something like that, and we'll make it. It's so I don't know if I can though, just because of the weather. I'm going to hold off on that one. Oh man, the stats do like it though. The stats do like it. Shout out Chase White. All right, I'll make it official. What the hell? Montero over 15.5 outs, minus 105. Current line Caesars. And if he looks like he's going deep and then there's a mid-game rain delay, screws it. All right, whatever. Yeah, and as far as the side is concerned, lean Detroit, first 5. Lean Baltimore, full game. Let's see what I'm going to assume that I'm going to see a more expensive line for Detroit, first 5 here at Pinnacle. Yeah, just a little bit. Not that. Yeah, not really. Okay. I'm a big fan of Montero in general, roughly. Being undervalued, not necessarily being a stud, but being a nice little bulldog on the mound there. And yeah, I guess that's it. Might be leaning Baltimore live after the starters are out, depending on what the score is and how the weather is. Definitely would be thinking about Baltimore live after the starters are out, especially if Detroit's up a little bit. We'll see. Look at the comment section. Gerald Jones likes first 5 under 4.5. Yeah, my numbers like that as well. I don't like the fact that the total's gotten bet up though. That's not very nice to see. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Gerald Jones, my numbers agree with that. All right, let's move on. Next game on the card. Here it is. Wait, is this a Toronto game? Yep. Oh no. It's coming up. In a little bit. Philly and Miami. Zach Wheeler day. Zach Wheeler against Tyler Phillips, and Miami's still losing. Now it's 12 in a row. 12 in a row. But they haven't been getting blown out, though. Only one of those 12 losses was by more than 3. Now, that's, damning with faint praise. I'm not even sure what that term means, but I think that's what it is, or something like that. 2 of the losses by 1 run, 5 by 2 runs, and 4 by 3 runs. So they're not really getting blown out, but they're definitely losing. They're blowing leads, which happened in their last game, and things just aren't working out for this team. And on the other side, Wheeler, excellent all season long. He has had a dud here and there, but mostly excellent. And in July, his strikeouts are way up, more than 1.5 strikeouts per inning, which is incredible. Before July, he was just like a 1 strikeout per inning guy, still having a great year. So Wheeler is in a real groove right now. Tyler Phillips on the other side can be okay, but in general, pretty vulnerable. So Philly, of course, big favorite, which you would expect. I'd also give a pretty big bullpen edge to Philly as well. So you got a big starting pitching edge, big bullpen edge. Philly, though, they won their last game, but before that they were slumping. They put up 11 runs in their last game, but before that they were not doing well offensively, kind of slumping. So Miami full game team total under was something that that looked interesting. And also the Phillips outs prop over 14.5 outs at like just minus 125 or so. Phillips, not great, but he can be okay. And I think Philly is a little iffy offensively right now, and especially off of their last win. Also, first half under had some value when I looked at it as well. So those are all things that had value according to the numbers. Let's see where everything is right now. Yeah, Philly's gotten bet up since this morning. Wow, bet up a lot since the morning, almost 20 cents. Wow. I mean, I can't say that. Can't say I disagree with it. From the morning, money really coming in on Philly. Just coming in. And the total, down to 7.5. It was 8 juice to the under in the morning, and now it's about 10 cents lower, 10 or 12 cents lower than that. My numbers like the under as well, and the Miami team total under, although it's very low, 3.5, heavily juiced to the under. Or 3 slightly juiced. Still some value there, but I can't pull the trigger on it. The Phillips outs prop, I think I can. I am going to take that one. 14.5 outs. I mean, he could get crushed here, of course. And if he gets crushed, they'll yank him. But he can have a nice little start or get hit a little bit and they'll leave him in. My numbers like the Phillips outs prop at over 14.5 outs at not a big favorite line. So we'll take it. They'll make that official. The Pinnacle line. Over 14.5 outs, minus 116 current line. Tyler Phillips, over 14.5 outs. We'll take that one. The no-brainer play, I guess, would be Philly first 5. Can't pull the trigger on it, though, because Phillips can be okay. Philly's offense, I'm not totally sold on as this big of a favorite. Wheeler has been friggin' awesome. I could see Miami blowing this late. The first 5 is way more expensive than the full game, of course, what you would expect. It's like 35 cents more expensive for Philly. Definitely cannot pull the trigger on it. If anything, yeah. First 5 under. Miami first 5 team total under is definitely tempting a little bit. Let's see people in the comment section thinking about. Nasty motherfucking Nate, Swiggy bets, everyone in the comment section, baby. All right. Let's see. I got to make some decisions here. A lot of borderline stuff, except for the Phillips outs prop I took. Again, first 5 under, statistically with a little bit of value. And at the current lines, I don't know. Yeah, probably be leading Miami at plus 180. And full game would have to be leading Miami at plus 164. Not going to trigger on that, though. Definitely interesting. And obviously, if Wheeler's, 1.5 per inning, strikeouts per inning, if his form approaches anything close to that here, then over 7.5 outs, strikeouts at plus money for Wheeler has some value. I'm not going to bet into that either, though. A little bit of a tricky spot here. Yeah, it looks like his strikeouts prop has gone down a little bit. Yeah, Swiggy Bet says Philly at well, not travel. Not sure that I agree. If I ran the numbers again, I'd probably be liking the Marlins at like plus 165, even though they haven't won in 2 weeks, and they're going up against a starting pitcher who's averaging 1.5 strikeouts per inning in July. Marlins full game or nothing for me. First 5, that's a lot dicey. But the first 5 under, definitely tempting. And the full game under is tempting as well. Very tempting. All right, you know what? Yeah. The first 5 under statistically has some value. I'll hold off on it. But statistically has some value. It does. All right, you know what? I won't hold on. I'll make an official play. Under, I'll go to 4.5. Under 4.5 minus 137. Current line Pinnacle. We'll take it. For current line under 4.5. Current line Pinnacle minus 137. We'll take it. Numbers like it. Makes me nervous in my gut, but we'll go with the numbers and we'll go with it. All right, next game on the card, Toronto, Washington. It's Max Scherzer day. Max Scherzer. Yes, I stay out the Phillies today. What up, Godfather? Hell yeah. Hope all is good. Hell yeah, Godfather. All right. Max Scherzer day. What to make of Max Scherzer? He's been horrific all year long. But then he had a rehab start. AAA hitters. 5 no-hit innings. No walks. 7 strikeouts. So I'm not sure what to think about him right here. He's been injured, banged up all year long. Horrific, terrible. But that's an eye-popping rehab start. On the other side, you have an opener for Washington who's been great in 3 appearances so far. He's a rookie, but hasn't given up a run yet in the majors. And then Alvarez, I like that guy. He got hit in his last 3, but he can be good in 4 inning appearances. And, of course, the Jays are not very good right now. Their offense often flames out. They just lost 2 or 3 at Boston. Overall, just not very good. Usually their offense doesn't show up. Washington won 2 or 3 against Arizona. They put up 10 runs yesterday. And Washington's a very small favorite here against Scherzer. So the big question is exactly what Max Scherzer are we going to get here? The Scherzer of his last AAA start or the Scherzer of some of his other, 7 and 8 run, embarrassments earlier this year? I'm not exactly sure. And this is another game where there's some possible rain issues. Later in the innings, there could be a delay. So, yeah. I'd give a nice little bullpen edge to Toronto, of course. Everyone has most teams have a nice little bullpen edge over Washington, and Toronto's definitely one of those teams. So, if I was expecting Scherzer to get hit, I would definitely take Washington here, first 5, because the opener for Washington, very good so far. Alvarez should be okay. Could get crushed by Toronto, but very likely that doesn't happen. I don't know. I think I'm just going to have to pass on the whole thing just because of the unknowns with Scherzer, and then after Alvarez is out, you got Alvarez himself comes with a lot of unknowns, and then you have no unknowns with the Washington bullpen. Shitty. Bottom five, very clearly. All right, let's see if this line has. It hasn't moved much. Hasn't moved much from this morning. 10 juice to the under. Hasn't moved much from this morning. Hasn't moved much from the opener either, really. I guess a lot of uncertainty all around. See what the first 5 is. Yeah. First 5, market definitely telling you Scherzer is going to have issues here because the first 5 is like 25 cents more expensive for the Nats than full game. Pinnacle's like minus 150. First 5, full game, it's like minus 125. So a huge, and here you go. Mark A. Mann. Shout out Mark A. Mann. His airness says Washington lineup loaded with lefties. I know. But Scherzer just chucked a 7 strikeout, 5-inning no-hitter against AAA batters. Jimmy the Bags on the Nats first 5. Yeah, and then Nats team total over. That's ballsy. First 5, I can understand. Team total over. That's ballsy. Because if Scherzer, it does come in and deal or gives up just a couple runs, easily that opener and Alvarez could hold Toronto down to 1 run or 0 runs. Yeah. Oh, man. Justin McKelvey like Scherzer 4+ strikeouts at plus money. I mean, he got strikeouts in his last start. Bo Jackson, look at this. Bo Jackson liking the Jays money line. Full game, I can understand that. Big bullpen edge to the Jays, no doubt about it. And I'd probably take a -1 just because of likely volatility with Scherzer. He's probably either going to be excellent or another 7-inning start. Yeah, this is a tough one. Let's see who is announced in the lineup here for Washington. Yep, there you go. Yeah, those are some pretty sick bats in there. Man, some sick bats. Alvarez can get hit too. And the Jays do put up a big number like 25% of the time, though. Maybe I think Jimmy Bag might be right. Maybe just Washington first 5, team total over. I think I'm going to have to stay off this one. It's just so tough. I'm going to stay off it. But I'm rooting for all of you. I'm rooting for Washington first 5 to put up a bunch of runs, then for Toronto to come back at the end and get it for Bo Jackson. An interesting game. I'm going to stay completely off it. Very interesting, though. All right, next game on the card, Cincinnati and Cleveland. This is another one where there's weather issues, and there might be some delays here. Let's see. What I'm seeing is, heavy rain around game time. Possible late start. So not sure what to make of the weather here. And, of course, it's Ciccone against Chase Burns. Chase Burns just signed a huge contract, $100 million contract extension. His first start after that was okay, was fine. But, there's no way around it. There's no way around losing your edge when you got $100 million guaranteed dollars. He's still got the fastball, though, and the slider. So, and Cleveland, of course, has been terrible. 5 straight losses, 2 straight shutout losses. So my numbers indicate an excellent start from Burns here. My numbers don't take into consideration $100 million guaranteed contracts. There's no column there in my spreadsheets. And again, there is weather here, in the 80s, rain, heavy rain around game time. So a lot of uncertainty here. All things being equal, big bullpen edge to Cleveland. So, the Burns earned runs prop is a little bit surprising. Statistically, under 1.5 earned runs at big plus money had some value, but then I'm wondering why the line is where it is. And also Burns under 5.5 hits, even as a big favorite. But the weather makes things interesting here. Let's see what people in the comment section are liking. Let's see. Yeah. Godfather talking about the playoffs. Yes, teams are selling. Jimmy the Bag likes Reds first 5 -0.5. Justin McKelvey says, I'm listening to Scherzer slander all day. He might deal today. Yeah. I mean, all those people slandering Scherzer, are they aware of what he did in his last trip in his AAA rehab start? Probably they are aware. I don't know. I mean, a guy like Scherzer, you give him a lot of credit if he shows those kinds of, just like Fried, veteran like that. If suddenly his velocity is back in the mid-90s, you give him the benefit of the doubt. Mark A. Mann, people taking Cincinnati first 5, can't disagree with it. Just the weather concerns me a little bit. Ciccone definitely, and yeah, I mean, that's what my numbers liked. It's just the weather made me hold off. I was thinking it was going to get postponed, and now I'm just seeing heavy rain around game time. Yeah, I definitely, statistically, great start for Burns here. Statistically. Not counting weather into consideration, not taking weather into consideration, not taking $105 million into consideration. And of course, the Reds, first five money line is in the stratosphere compared to the full game. All right, what do I mean? I don't disagree with the Burns with the Reds first five stuff. It's just the weather makes me a little bit nervous. Maybe I prefer like the Cleveland team total under, something like that. First five. The Burns earned runs prop 1.5 at big plus money. I didn't understand that one at all, and it's still there. Yeah, it's still there. Pretty weird. Yeah, I think I will take that one. Although again, I don't like to see stuff that I don't quite understand, or that's so off from my numbers. That's so off from my numbers. Yeah, the Burns under 1.5. I'm gonna hold off on that one. It's just a little bit weird. Just a little bit weird. I'm gonna hold off on this game completely, just because of the weather and everything. I hope you all cash, and definitely my numbers say great start for Burns here, and Cincinnati, first 5 run line almost certainly has some value. Probably has some value according to my numbers. All right, let's move on. Next game on the card: Atlanta against the Mets. Zach Thornton starting for the Mets, and he's been great in the majors so far. His first start, he got hit. Next 3 lights out. I think he will come back down to earth a little bit, and the market is definitely indicating that. His earned runs prop earlier was just 2.5. Not heavily juiced to the under at all, just a little bit on both sides. And then Martin Perez starting for Atlanta. He struggled at the end of the first half. His first start of the second half was good, but it was short, 4 innings. He had 4 walks. So overall, he does look vulnerable, but he's another crafty veteran. And I give a little bit of a benefit of the doubt, too, in certain situations. Certainly going up against the Mets here is not likely to chase him. Atlanta has been improving since the break, which is something that I talked about in the first half of the season when they were struggling game in and game out. I was like, I expect this team to be better in the second half, and they've gone 7-3 so far. Mets just still kind of suck. They'll get you a win a third of the time, but the rest of the time they just kind of suck. They did beat the Dodgers yesterday. Bullpens here basically a wash. Basically a wash. Despite the fact that I think Thornton's going to come back down to earth, my numbers do indicate that over 16.5 outs for him has some value, but Atlanta could chase him. And if he comes back down to earth, I mean, it is kind of nice hitting weather here, nicer than normal here at Citi Field. I do like also Perez under 5.5 hits because, again, he's not likely to go deep. He might have a good start, or he might have a bad start where he gives up home runs and walks and still doesn't get up to 6 hits. So I'm going to make that official, even though I can understand why that might scare some people. Perez under 5.5 hits. Again, he might have a nice start, might have a bad start, not because of giving up a lot of hits, or he could give up a lot of hits, but it's not a huge number. Not a huge number here. So I'll make it official. Martin Perez under 5.5 hits, minus 138, current line Caesars. We'll take that. We'll make it official. Market not really believing in Thornton. Again, earned runs 2.5, roughly even on both sides, which is more in line with how his first start went than his last 3. His outs prop, my numbers say take the over at 16.5 at just minus 105, but I'm not going to do that because Atlanta could chase him. Could chase him. Let's see where this line is moved. Yeah, not much movement from morning. Still about almost even on both sides. Almost even on both sides, which is where it was when it opened. So not much movement here. And then the total, though, has clearly gotten bet up, like I was talking about. It's definitely nicer hitting weather here for home runs and stuff. So, it was 8.5. Slightly juiced the over this morning. Now it's up to 8.5, like 125. So it's like a 15-cent move from this morning. And almost a full run move from the opener, which I agree with. I'm not going to take the over on the current line, but definitely agreeing with that. Jimmy the Bag taking the Mets 5-3, reluctantly fading my guy Perez. Yeah, I mean, Perez is no great shakes. Do give him a little bit of credit as a crafty veteran. It's just that I see regression from Thornton coming. Bo Jackson taking Mets money line. Justin McKelvey taking the Mets as a dog. All right, nice job getting a dog line. The Mets, here you go. All right, I'm just going to take the Perez under. Would not be surprised at all if the Mets do win the first three. If the Mets are up 6-1 and Perez only gives up 4 hits, 2 home runs, 3 walks. You know what I'm talking about. That kind of a start. And then they yank him after 4 innings. 4 innings, 3 hits, 6 runs, 2 home runs. That's my prediction for Martin Perez. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. All right, next game on the card, Yanks and White Sox. Fried. It's Max Fried day. And again, Fried was having issues, but we talked about it. Before his first start back in the minors, before he went down to the minors, his velocity was notably down. And his minor league start was not good, but his velocity was there. And his first start back, of course, excellent. 5 shutout innings, 7 strikeouts. He was just dealing. On the other side, Schultz for the White Sox, he can be good, but overall, pretty iffy. Another one where there could be a late start here, but the game should go. I'm seeing like a double-digit wind, mostly blowing across. High humidity because there is some rain possibility. Yankees won 2 or 3 at Philly, but their offense in general not looking very good right now. It's kind of a better version than Toronto. It's kind of an overvalued team with the offense a little less shitty, bullpen a little bit better. But they remind me of Toronto, a little bit better version of Toronto. And the White Sox lost 2 or 3 at Texas. They won their last one, 12-3 yesterday. And 2 big injuries, of course, for both these teams. For the Yankees, Cody Bellinger, he's out. And Colson Montgomery for the White Sox is out. Well, he's day-to-day. I'm assuming he's out. Let's check. I'm assuming that Montgomery is out. Let me check the lineup. Oh, no, he's in. DHing. Okay. All right. That's interesting. That's nice for the White Sox, I guess. Although, is he going to be banged up? I don't know. Big bullpen edge here for the Yankees. And I was looking at another short, strong start from Fried. Fried should be on a pitch limit again because his outs prop is very low, just 14.5. Yeah, he could get hit here. Montgomery in doesn't really help. That's interesting. All right. Godfather says Yankees all day. Mark Aman, like in the Yankees. Thomas Maggio, 1546, like in White Sox, plus 1.5. Wow. All right. Godfather Mark Aman, and like in the Yankees, so maybe the Yankees win by 1. That'd be nice with a good bullpen. That's certainly possible. Let's check where the line has moved. Justin McKelvey likes the Yankees under 8.5. I mean, Fried, my numbers say another strong start from him. And a nice bullpen for Yankees as well. So my number said White Sox team total under had some value. And the Yankees lineup is iffy. The Schultz can be vulnerable though. And then you got the weird weather, of course. Yeah, I don't hate the under at all. By any means do I hate the under. Let's see where the line has moved, if at all. Maybe a small move towards the Yankees. Small since the morning. And let's see, where are we? Small move to the Yankees since the morning. Yeah. But headed down a little bit from like the opening line. So it's bounced around. It's bounced around a little bit. And the total is, where are we? Where's the total here? Yeah, 8.5. A little bit small move to the under from the morning, which is nice to see for Justin McKelvey. In the morning, it was 8.5, slightly juiced to the over. Now it's 8.5, slightly juiced to the under. I can definitely dig it. I don't know if I can take a shot with the White Sox team total under. It's tempting, though. 3.5, like minus 110. Tempting, though. The numbers do like it. After that awesome start from Fried, I can't pull the trigger on the White Sox first 5 team total under either. Yeah, this is a bit of a tough day. I'm going to have fewer... Yeah, and the Fried outs prop over 14.5 had some value as well, but his pitch count is uncertainty. All right, yeah, and the first 3. Yeah, I'm just going to completely pass on this whole thing. It's another tricky game, and definitely that the Yankees' first 5 line is not that much more expensive in the full game. A little bit. But not 50 cents more expensive like the Cincinnati game or whatever. 30 cents more expensive than the Scherzer game, whatever those numbers were. Just a little bit more expensive for the Yankees, despite the fact that that Schultz has some big question marks. His airness says Yanks can't hit. Absolutely. Do not disagree with that. Absolutely not. Absolutely. Swiggy bets, can the Yankees hit, though? 20% of the time, sure. 80% of the time, not really. Not really. Yeah. I think the under more and more is looking like a nice little play. Or the first 5 under. I mean, the numbers like first 5 under. They did. They did. What would that be? That would be, 4.5. I think you're right, Justin McKelvey. And the number has moved a little bit in that direction since the morning anyway. A small but very modest but very clear move to the under. Yeah, it's an interesting game. I'm just going to think for a couple more seconds, and then we'll move on. Yeah, it'd have to be it'd have to be White Sox or nothing at the current line, no doubt about it. Especially with Montgomery, and I was assuming he was out when I ran my numbers. So now that he's in, probably White Sox or nothing. It would have to be. And if you like the White Sox, probably the under is a good play as well. All right, I'm going to pass. I'm going to pass officially, but another very interesting game. Next game on the card, Cubs and St. Louis, 2 absolute dog shit starters. Well, no, 2 starters who are very, very, very vulnerable on any given day. David Peterson and Liberatore. Peterson was with the Mets and was horrific, and then the Cubs acquired them. I guess they saw something because he's now had 2 nice starts in a row. I'm not sure I'm buying it. The peripherals aren't really there, but give him credit. How many 5-inning 1-run starts did he have with the Mets? I don't know if he had any. And he's had 2 now, 2 in a row with the Cubs. So credit there. Liberatore, very up and down, high volatility. A lot of these high volatility guys, they're like 60% good, 40% bad. Not Liberatore. He's more like 35% good, 65% bad. So I'd be betting into dog lines with Liberatore starting. Both these guys high volatility every which way you look. So I'd be looking to bet anything on this game. I would take as big of a dog line as I could, as long as I wasn't paying too much for it. Cubs, of course, been playing well since the break. They won 2 or 3 at Pitt, lost their last game in St. Louis, just slumping out since the break. 3 of 4, 3-1 on their current homestand. And Cubs a small favorite in the morning and a very, very high total for St. Louis. 10 juice to the under this morning. This is another one that I passed on. Let's see where the line has moved and then maybe make some decisions here. Yeah, so the Cubs still just a small favorite here. Not much movement from the morning on the total on the side, although the total has definitely gotten bet down a little bit. Yeah, with these 2 guys starting, total was 10, slightly juiced to the under. I ran the numbers, said take the under. There's no way I was going to bet that with these 2 guys starting, but that's what the numbers said, and now it's down about 15 cents or so from there. Now it's down to like 9.5 from 10 juice to the under, which is pretty interesting. First 5 over though is still something that is interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna pull the trigger on that. Let's see if anyone in the comment section like it. PWR Critter likes the Cubbies. Mike Rankin says, love this show. Thanks, Pete. Thank you so much, Mike Rankin. There's one love this show. Can we get another one? Can we get a second one? If you're on the fence about it, don't post it. Only if you're sure. If you're sure that that's how you feel, like Mike Rankin. Shout out Mike Rankin. Yeah, this is a tough one. I think I'm going to pass again. PWR Critter, like in the Cubbies. Yeah, I mean, numbers say Cubs or nothing. I would also give a small pen edge to the Cubs as well. It's just, with these, I'd want to be taking like a dog line again, like I said. So I'd want to be taking, like, if I was going to take the Cubs, taking on a run line plus 135 or maybe -2 plus 173, something like that. High volatility here because Liberatore will be good 30% of the time or 35% of the time, something like that. And that could easily happen here on a super hot Monday. Heat tends to be good for offenses, but when it's super hot like this in the mid 90s, on a Monday with August coming up, a lot of times those games are actually lower scoring than and that's why, I ran the numbers and said under. Couldn't pull a trigger on it, but if I had to make one bet on this whole entire game, I would probably, believe it or not, chuck it on the under at like 9.5, minus 110, or 10, minus 130, something like that. But I'm not going to do it. Interesting breakdown, though. Interesting analysis. All right, let's move on. Next game on the card: Houston and the Angels. Urena. I like this guy. I talk about him every time he's pitching in these shows. I like him. Good character. The kind of guy who I like to bet on. Undervalued, I think. Maximizes his stuff and his potential. Knows how to be. Continues to be impressive. He can have a walks issue. He didn't in his last start. He's going to have his duds. His stuff isn't elite, but he knows how to pitch, and that's something that I like to see. And those are the kinds of guys, especially when they don't go deep, they don't put up huge strikeout numbers. They tend to maintain their underratedness and their betting value. And here again, I took Urena over 4.5 strikeouts. Even though he can have good starts where he doesn't get strikeouts, he could get hit. Lots of things could happen. But I did take Urena over 4.5 strikeouts at minus 120. He faced Houston earlier this year, went 5 innings, had a lot of walks in that one, but got 7 strikeouts. I took the Urena strikeouts prop over. I also took a shot with the Imai over 15.5 outs. Now he's very inconsistent. Another very, very high volatility guy. Sometimes he gets crushed. Sometimes he's great. Sometimes he has double-digit strikeouts. Sometimes he's terrible. I'm not sure that the Angels are going to chase him here. He can run up high pitch counts, but my numbers say this is a nice spot for him. And this could easily be like a 6-inning, 4-run start for Imai. Could easily be like a 5 2/3, 9 strikeout start for Imai, where he doesn't go, 6 innings because his pitch count just gets out of control. Or he could go under, but I did take a shot with his over 15.5 outs prop and the Urena over 4.5 strikeouts prop as well. Houston, they had won 5 in a row, then they got blown out yesterday, but in general, a nice little team. And the Angels, subpar, not too horrible, but still subpar. They won yesterday, 4-5 since the break. So they're okay. And the Angels are just a small dog on the open, and that's still where they are. It's moved, if anything, a little bit in the Angels' favor. I don't know if I'd want to take them, though, because as much as I like Urena, I give a big, team prop to Houston, and Imai, when he's good, can be great. So I would consider taking the Angels -1 or -1.5. No way I'd take them on the money line there. I do something with the volatility. So yeah, so Houston just a tiny, tiny favorite, which is what they were on the overnight line, which is what they were in morning line, and where they are now. And let's see if the total has moved. Yeah, not much. Just a teeny move to the over, which I guess I can understand. But I'll make both of those things I just said official. The Urena strikeouts prop, 4.5. I'll be able to get at least -118, and the Imai outs prop over 15.5, which is hopefully it's not headed down. But if it is, that's all right. Those are the 2 props that I'll give. Anyone who want to take a first 5 under, I couldn't disagree with. All right, so we're going to take Imai over 15.5 outs plus 101 current line Pinnacle. And we'll take Urena over 4.5 strikeouts -118 current line Pinnacle. Make both those official. And if someone wanted to take the first 5 under, 4.5 -109, I couldn't argue with that. In fact, oh hell yeah, Mike Rankin, been listening to Jiminy Pete for many years. You guys are the best. Hell yeah, Mike Rankin. Thank you so much. All right. Thomas Maggio, 1546. Shout out. All right. Shout out Justin McKelvey. All right. Lots of people making nice comments here. All right. Mark A. Man says, I can see Houston winning late. Yeah. I mean, they definitely, yes. Once Urena's out, there's not a whole lot to recommend this Angels team. Absolutely. I would be, after Urena's out, depending on how Imai did and what the score is and everything, I would definitely be looking at taking Houston live, especially after the loss yesterday and the Angels won. Yeah, absolutely. I would take Houston here, but I would wait until Urena's out just to see what happens. And if Urena gets crushed, okay, we'll eat the lost opportunity. But I'll make those 2 picks official, and Yeah, first 5 under is definitely tempting. All right, we got 2 more games to go, and then we'll wrap this up. Next game on the card, Red Sox and the A's, Tolley against Jack Perkins. It's another one. Low 90s to low 80s. Very hot here in Sacramento. 8 wind out. Low humidity, though. And you got Boston against the A's. Boston, their winning streak came to an end. They still won 2 or 3 against Toronto. Now they go on the road. So will their awesome play continue here? Because they're not just on the road. Now they're going to the West Coast. So is that good for them psychologically or bad? If they had continued their winning streak, it would probably be bad. But since the winning streak got broken, and then they continued to play well but lost another game, maybe it's good. And certainly going up against the A's is easy competition. The A's were chintzy to begin with, and now their all-star catcher, Langalier's out. He's out. He was a big home run hitter, and now he's gone. So that's a big loss for the A's here. So on paper, Boston has a huge edge here. Tolley against Perkins. Tolley got hit in his last start. Also got 9 strikeouts. He's been very good on the road. They're keeping his workload low. But statistically, I'd also be giving a massive bullpen edge to Boston here. So you got massive lineup edge, massive bullpen edge, and massive starting pitching edge. I'm not sure how you don't, except it's just, now you've also got to pay a massive road favorite line for that, for an East Coast team going all the way west. And Jack Perkins been bad overall, worse at home. I did take his over strikeouts prop though, because even though he's been getting crushed, he does get strikeouts. The strikeouts prop was low. So unless Boston comes in here and just, chases him early, there should be some value with his strikeouts prop, although I don't expect a good start from him. So this is a tough one. I think I will make the Perkins strikeouts prop official. Let's look at the lines and see where this has moved. Yeah, Boston just a huge favorite here. Looks like it's moved a little bit from the morning in Boston's favor, even further, which I can understand. This is one of those games where I would be surprised if there was sharp money coming in on the A's. Although if it got to like plus 180, then I would expect it or something like that. But it opened like Boston was like minus 145 or so, and now they're all the way up to like minus 180. So like a 40-cent move, 35-cent move, something insane and sick and ununderstandable and probably totally justified. Totals moves a little bit to the over. In the morning, it was 9.5 juice to the under. Now it's 9.5 juice to the over, which I guess is understandable considering, how bad Perkins is. I think I am going to take the Perkins strikeouts prop, though. My numbers liked it. Even when he gets hit, he gets a lot of strikeouts. And he should be able to do that again here, even if he doesn't have an improved start. So I'm going to take Perkins over 4.5 strikeouts at a pretty decent favorite line, but nothing too crazy. I'll make that one official. Let's find the line. Let's find the number. Good number. We're only shopping at 2 places. All right, we'll take the Pinnacle line. Perkins over 4.5 strikeouts, minus 140, current line Pinnacle. We'll take that one. Yeah, and for anyone who's, doing Boston minus 1, minus 1.5, whatever you're doing there, I understand it. I'm not gonna do it myself. But all sorts of negative signs for the A's, all sorts of positive signs for Boston here, and it's just kind of an ugly game in that respect because you got to take such a huge favorite. Mark, amen. Jermaine says A's 11 straight loss against left-handed pitching. Yeah, I mean, any way you slice it, it's looking ugly. It's looking ugly. In fact, I challenge you to slice it, to come up with any way you can slice it that doesn't look ugly for the A's. It's just a bad scene over there right now. Thomas Maggio likes Boston run line minus 110. I can dig it. Mark Aman taking Boston minus 1. Mark Aman taking Boston first 5 team total over. Yeah, I mean, expect the unexpected in the dog days of summer in MLB. But yeah, I hear you. I'm just taking the Perkins strikeout prop, and that's it. All right, last game on the card is Milwaukee and San Francisco, and it's Sproat against Tyler Mahle. Tyler Mahle's been much, much better at home. Huge home road dichotomy for Tyler Mahle. Terrible, crushed on the road, and at home sometimes gets crushed, but much more often than not, even pretty good. High humidity here in San Francisco today, so there's been more runs scored recently in San Francisco. Sproat, has great stuff, but he's struggling overall. He's kind of the anti-Urena. He does have great stuff, but he knows he has to learn how to use it better. and not have walks and not have high pitch counts and all this stuff. If he gets a good pitching coach, they should trade him to Tampa Bay or somewhere. And I bet you he turns into like, a 5-inning stud. But as of right now, it's just not quite there for him. The Giants are a small dog here. Milwaukee, though, as a team, continue to be excellent. They've just been killing it off the 11-1 win over Colorado yesterday. Now they're going on the road. San Francisco won 2 or 3 against the Angels. We don't read too much into that. And generally, they've been subpar. Milwaukee, of course, has an excellent bullpen. Huge bullpen edge here for them against San Francisco. So, yeah, I would be maybe leaning, Giants first 5, maybe. But, Molly also can be vulnerable at home, just a lot less so. And Milwaukee has a really nice lineup, and it is pretty humid there today. So it's not a great spot for Molly. Let's see. Cincy Tino says Scherzer did that against Washington. Yeah, a minor team. Look, they were AAA, right? It was a AAA team. I don't know who was in the lineup of that AAA team, but I mean, look, I don't know. Give him credit. Give him some credit. I think you're right though. It's just I just wish that someone else was just Alvarez can get touched, and Toronto does put up a double-digit run game. A quarter, 20% of the time or something like that, 15% of the time. And this feels like that could be coming. Your Godfather likes Milwaukee first 5. Okay. If I was going to take Milwaukee here, I'd probably take them full game just because I'd give them a big bullpen edge. Molly can be good and Sproat, can struggle and can go short. Yeah. Okay. But Godfather liking Milwaukee just first 5 and Thomas Maggio, 1546. Saying it's a good look. Thomas Maggio liking him full game as well. I mean, all things being equal, they're the far superior team, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Let's see where this line has moved, and then we'll call it a day. Yeah, so it's moved a little bit in Milwaukee's favor. Not a surprise there. Giants now moved about 10 cents from the morning in Milwaukee's favor. Moved a little bit to the over as well. And from the overnight, now it's moved almost a full half run. Almost a half run, moved to the over, which I understand and agree with. I don't like the spot for Molly, really. I mean, I agree with you that I don't like the spot for Molly relative to his previous home starts this year. So I don't hate Milwaukee first 5. Yeah, Milwaukee full game it's a little bit, as the line creeps up, Sproat has some issues. Yeah. It would be Milwaukee or nothing for me, I think. But the line scared me. A lot of games on today's card that scare me a little bit. I stayed off a whole bunch of them. But I did give a bunch of plays. Most of them pitching props. I think overall they're pretty good. It was a great show. Great to see everyone in the comment section. So great to see everyone in here, baby. Oh, man. Jimmy the Bag, everyone. So great. Godfather, Justin McCalvey, Thomas Maggio, fucking everyone. He says last time Milwaukee's come out hot in the first half and then shut down in the second half. Yeah, I just statistically have a nice bullpen edge for Milwaukee. Mike Rankin, Prime VA, Mark Amen, Keese 615, of course, DC Capper, PW Quitter, His Airness, everyone, Jermaine 34, of course. Great to see you all. We'll be back on Wednesday, baby.
It's easier to sleep in the black when you're losing your ass and feeling so, you know what to do. Tune in to Pub Sports Radio. Easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. It's a roller coaster ride, you're gonna catch a bad beat. No problem, keep your head up and just bet the spreadsheet. It's easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. All thanks to Jeff Slaughter, these shows have our backs. POD's always rolling, especially the stats. Easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. We got Jimmy, Jose, Dabby and the fam, Dutch Wine Time, Spooner and OG Wham. So hit the like button, don't say that you can't. If you know what's best, just put your money on tape.